Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. If you've never been here before, welcome. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on post notifications. I post every week. This month has been off to a rough start because I have not been feeling well, so I missed a video, but that's okay. We will make up for it in the long run. Today we are doing the January book tag, which was started by Jan Agaton on YouTube. I really like her videos. They're very cool. They're very like dark academia vibes, and her name is Jan, so like January, you probably understand at this point. So anyway, let's just jump right in. Okay, the first question is, what was the last and first, if you remember, book you read last year? The last book I read last year was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. 5-star thriller, loved it. It's about a group of friends from college who go back for their 10-year reunion, and someone kind of is trying to get them together to figure out who the murderer is who killed their friend in their senior year of college. Very interesting, really liked it. And I think the first book I read last year, well, we can look up Goodreads. Oh yeah, I read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. That was my first book of 2021. What did I rate it? Did I give it a rating? I think probably 4 stars. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It's about a group of friends from college. Oh my god, did I read the same book? No, it's about a group of friends from college and their significant others, and they go to this remote Scottish villa, I guess, in the winter over New Year's. And then someone is murdered and they get snowed in and they have to figure out what to do because the police cannot get to them. And it's creepy. I really enjoyed it. I know some people did not, but that was my first read of the year and I really liked it. Okay, question 2. What is your first read this year? My first read this year was Cultish by Amanda Montell. It is a nonfiction book about how language influences people to join cults and how brands and current companies use similar cultish language and like when is it bad, when is it good, that kind of thing. I gave it 5 stars. I finished it last week and I loved it and I highly recommend it to everyone. So good, and I can't wait to read her other book later this year. Okay, share 3 of your reading goals this year. My main reading goal is to read 25 books this year, which is low, on the low side, because I read 31 books this year, but I'm not really somebody who likes to set a goal and then not reach it, so I lowballed it in the hopes that we will just like blow it out of the water. Another goal of mine is to not leave series hanging, because I'm definitely somebody who doesn't like to finish the last episodes or books in a series because then there's no more content. I don't like finishing things, so I would like to finish some series this year. And my third goal is to, what was it? Oh yeah, just read more genres I don't normally read. I want to read more fantasy this year because I decided I didn't like it before and then now I do like it, so I'd like to read more fantasy, more kind of like horror, sci-fi. I'm really trying, and I'd like to read more nonfiction. Question 4. Sorry, the 3 in the question scared me. Question 4, share 3 of your most anticipated titles. Let me look at my Goodreads. So in terms of anticipated releases, I would say my 3 most anticipated releases of this year are Cake Eater by Alison Dolan, which I talked about in my new releases video, but it's basically Marie Antoinette if she lived in the year 3070 and she's an influencer. How cool does that sound? Also Hotel Magnifique by Emily Taylor, which I think I also talked about, but it's basically about these girls who there's this magic hotel in their city and they want to stay there, but they can't, so they get a job there and it like travels all over the world, but it's like weird. One more that I recently added to my list that I want to read is Forbidden City by Vanessa Hu. I'm not sure that I pronounced her name right, so I'll put it on the screen. But it's basically about a girl living in 1960s China who becomes Mao's protege and lover and a poster child for the Cultural Revolution. But when the chairman finally gives her a political mission, she seizes it with fervor, but the brutality of this latest stage of the revolution makes her begin to doubt all the certainties she held so dear. So that sounds really, really interesting to me. So those are my 3 most anticipated titles that have not yet been released in terms of books that I already own that I really want to read this year. Why do I suddenly forget every book I've ever owned? Let me get my journal. Well, Cultish was definitely on there, but I've finished that now, so won't include that. Oh, I'd really like to read the Hawthorne Legacy, which is the sequel to the Inheritance games, so that would help me along with my series goal. I'd really like to read, I just bought House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, so I'm looking forward to that. And I also want to read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. It's been on my list for a while and I bought it, so I'm hoping to get it on a TBR soon because I think I will really like it. Which goals did you not reach last year? I wasn't really a booktuber person last year, so my only goal was my Goodreads goal, which was to read 1 book a month, so 12 books, and I read 30 something, so blew it out of the water, baby. Are there new releases this year that you've heard of that you have no desire to read? I don't really pay attention to the ones that I don't want to read. Like, I'm not going to write them down or anything, so it's kind of hard. There's a few series that I just, like, don't have any interest in, like the really, really high fantasy style series I'm not really interested in. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't really write, I just kind of ignore them if I hear them, so. But I already talked about some that I am excited. So, what are some reading habits you want to change this year, if any? I'd like to read more books, which seems counterproductive because my goal isn't that high, but I do want to read more books than I've read in the past. I want to keep hitting about 4 books a month. And I'd honestly like to read more instead of like going on my phone, but I feel like everyone has that goal, and sometimes reading is just like not what my brain needs at the moment. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how my reading habits change when I'm not in school full-time come this summer. So are there any adaptations you're excited about? Yes, and I went and wrote them down. So the first one we have is Where the Crawdads Sing is becoming a movie. Reese Witherspoon's production company is putting it on. I haven't read this book yet. It's on my list, but I've heard really good things, so I'm excited for that. Also Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I've never read that. It's coming out very soon, but the cast looks fantastic, so from a movie perspective, I'm really excited about it. I loved Murder on the Orient Express, and it's basically like the same series of movies, I guess. The third one is My Policeman. I don't know a lot about this. I've heard the book is good. I've heard that the premise is something that I would like, but it is Harry Styles. And there's this whole, I'm pretty sure it's like a queer relationship thing when it wasn't like accepted. So that sounds interesting. And then All Quiet on the Western Front. I have never read that book. I think I like that type of book. I like that type of movie about war, but what is his name? Daniel Bruhl. He plays Zemo on in the Marvel series, is the star, and I like him, and he's very attractive. So yeah, I would like to see that movie. I think that I will enjoy it. It sounds like it's a little bit dark though. I mean, it is about World War I, so. Favorite bookish memory of last year? I think that would have to be joining my book club, the Not Wasting My 20s book club, and just like meeting some really amazing people and some like friendships that I really cherish. Like I met my friend Isabella this year, and even though she lives in California and I live here, like we talk all the time. We're like the same person, honestly. I'm hoping that I'll get to go down there and visit her post-grad this year, and like all the other people I've met there, like Megan, Sam, Bhavana, Stephanie, Raina. We like literally just talk about Drag Race all the time. Like, it's just all these people and they're living their lives, and most of them live in the US, and we are just like meeting, and we would never have all met in like any other way. So shout out to Katie Burke for starting Not Wasting My 20s Facebook, which then led to the book club, which then led to me spending almost every Thursday night with these people. So that is my best bookish memory of last year. And are there any carryovers from last year that you still plan on finishing? No, as soon as that clock struck midnight on December 31st, 2021, those books are DNF'd. DNF'd. If I started them, they're done. They're done. I don't want them anymore, or I would have finished them. So there's only a couple, like Nick by Michael Bernard, that's not his name. Michael Ferris Smith, done. Northanger Abbey, done. I'm not finishing that. The only book that's like on my Goodreads that says I started it in 2021 is The Bridge Kingdom. I never actually read a page of that book, so that doesn't count, and it can be put on a TBR later, but everything else, you're dead to me. You're done. So that is it. I saw Sid's video. She tagged some people in the end, so I will say if you want to do it, like, do it. That's all for me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below a book to movie adaptation that you are excited for this year, because I want more of them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!